G'day, I'm Ash, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to basically be talking about War Thunder's new Battle Pass, Season 12. I can't believe there's been 12 seasons where I've done 12 videos or even more about certain Battle Pass vehicles. Absolutely crazy to sort of think about. There's only one vehicle that I'm kind of intrigued at looking at, and that is the B7A2. There is a Italian S38 torpedo boat, whatever you want to call that machine, something armed with Bofors and Italian radar, and then you obviously have a German armoured personnel carrier-esque type vehicle with 20mm and a self-propelled gun, I believe, on the back there. So again, nothing too much, although it has heat, so that could be particularly interesting. But my problem actually stems from Battle Passes is when they actually changed the low tier reward. For those of you who don't remember, you used to be able to get the test drives of certain things, and you also used to be able to get a low-tier vehicle on the side, which was always the highlight of the Battle Pass for me, getting a unique low-tier vehicle to really just sort of stir up the feelings for grinding an immense grind. And they replaced it with 15 days of premium, thinking that there would be a compensation for a vehicle, and I dishearteningly disagree with that statement because, yeah, sure, a low-tier vehicle could ruin low tiers. It could also basically imbalance the matchmaker. The low-tier vehicle could be potentially broken, but what's them stopping them from adding new vehicles in new major updates with lower-tier vehicles? And they go around, every content creator and every member tries to use them and have a bunch of fun in the new vehicles. So what's the difference there? I don't really understand. Replacing it with 15 days of premium doesn't really justify a permanent unlocked vehicle, which, you know, premium time is obviously a consumable, whereas a vehicle is something that sticks around for a little while and you can actually do something with it. Anyhow, we've got three rewards. We have basically a German S38 torpedo bomber, a Japanese B7A2, which is a premium rank 3, and then we have a rank 4 premium, which is an armoured personnel carrier SPZ with a 106mm recoilless round with heat, so it should be rather effective. My biggest concern, though, is that the Battle Passes are just becoming less and less unique and more just, here, have some shit for the sake of having some shit. I know that people purchase these to get Silver Lions even, or even purchase the Battle Pass predominantly so they can collect vehicles. Some people use it to then sell on the marketplace and generate revenue that way, but I guess it's each to their own on what value you actually get out of a Battle Pass. For me, the whole entire thing just feels a bit sort of lackluster, feels a bit misunderstood. It is something that I do feel is not good enough comparatively to other games that offer similar services and similar Battle Passes. I do believe that in most cases that War Thunder's Battle Pass system is subject to real scrutiny and should probably change for the better and not for the worse. Considering that they keep changing the challenges all the time, I understand changing the challenges up, but in most cases they're forcing you to play game modes you don't want to play, and in turn, you know, just trying to unlock some of the things and actually get points towards some of the challenges is really a pain in the ass. Now, I get having a real challenge if the vehicle is really worth it, but in some cases the vehicle is just not worth it at all. So you're really looking at a double-sided sort of sword here. On one hand, yeah, okay, you're offering some unique decals on some decorators, some consumable items, some war bonds, and even some vehicle backups, and those are all fantastic, and the boosters are nice, but in reality that's not what most people go for a Battle Pass for. They really go for a vehicle. This game is predominantly a vehicle-based combat simulator, so you want that to be the main focus. So it's disappointing that there isn't another edition of another vehicle outside of the three that we already have, but gotta look at it from this way. You've got a B7A2 with an upgraded engine. Apparently it's a Kai 84 engine, it's an experimental engine, so it should be pretty interesting. You have a German anti-tank vehicle with a 20mm cannon, so that should be pretty fun. And then you have a copy-paste Italian boat, which isn't the most exciting. Again, even a low-tier aircraft or even a low-tier tank would have sufficed just to fill that gap so that, you know, you're paying money for this, so that way it actually be worth your time. On the other hand, I am pleased that some of the Battle Pass vehicles don't appear to be the most broken ever. We have had instances where the Battle Pass vehicles have just ruined matchmakers completely. PT-76 and ITP are the two Russian things that come to mind that have utterly dominated air realistic battles, and then the latter part of ground forces in rank 4. That PT-76 was just absolutely nuts. And it's not so nuts now. There are other vehicles which can compete in that sort of realm and that sort of autocannon bizarreness that happens. But again, when it comes to the ITP, it was just ruining mid-matches, and you'd go up against teams of XP50s, an event vehicle which was incredibly hard to come by and really hard to fight against in cases where you were in a slower or fatter or heavier aircraft, and then you were fighting, you know, ITPs with fridge launching Yak 9 abilities that just seem to shrug off any damage potential. So again, it's really quite a bit of an interesting sort of mix to have here. You want to have vehicles that are interesting, but you don't want to have vehicles that are overpowered, and I guess that's a part of the whole ideal and reasoning why Gaijin have just implemented such a fucking horrible 3-vehicle system rather than a 4-vehicle system. Anyway, I banged that to death. It just feels like the tasks and forcing people to do tasks that they don't necessarily want to do is really a bit of a bad thing. But then again, if you want people to complete tasks and get a reward for free, then you can basically do anything. Isn't that any company's motto these days? Anyhow, will I be partaking in the Battle Pass? Probably not. I'll probably just Golden Eagle my way through, get all the rewards, and then get all the vehicles like I normally do. But for those who are free to play, is this worth it? Well, it depends on what you're after. If you want an upgraded B7A2 with a really good engine and similar characteristics, the same armament and everything else like that, then by all means, go for it. If you want a German tank destroyer chassis that's been upgraded to be a light tank that does 55 kilometers an hour and has a recoilless rifle on the back that has heat rounds, yeah, that should be particularly fun as well. Although if you're wanting a post-war Italian-German S-38, which has been upgraded with Bofors, well, yeah, that's the very first reward, so I guess you're kind of stuck with that one. But otherwise, it should be particularly just lackluster, right? It's the 12th season. Nothing is going to compare to the early seasons where they were casual experience, right? So you'd be able to play them and just unlock the vehicles casually rather than having to actually dedicate your life and soul to something. So I feel like there is a chance that this Battle Pass or the next season that comes up in a few months' time could be a bit different, but this one is showing the same signs of copy, paste, and repeat in its operandum and its operation status. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and is there anything else that you would like to see in a Battle Pass? What kind of changes would you do if you were in charge of the Battle Pass system? More importantly, I'd also like to see the Warbonds store completely and utterly removed. It serves no real purpose being tied to the Battle Pass, and that's its only serving purpose, and you have to do special tasks and daily tasks in order to unlock anything. Mind you, you only get Warbonds from the Battle Pass these days, so again, that's something that I don't necessarily like about the Battle Pass either. Anyway, a bit of service announcement. If for those of you who don't know, I stream on Fridays for a couple of hours from midday Australian time. So, you know, 12 PM to about 3 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. That is always fun. That's over on Twitch, link in the description. Other than that, at the moment, plans are to expand into other games. We have a Tank Mechanic Sim video coming out. We also have a Flyout game, which is basically Sprocket, but for aircraft. We also will be revisiting Sprocket as well to see what they've been up to recently. And we will also be checking out a whole host of other games that come out as they, well, there might be a sponsored project, who knows. And I've also got to address the fact that my secondary channel, Aircraft on Jacks, has been demonetized by YouTube due to the fact that there's new partner program rules enforced, and I don't meet the minimum requirements to the watch time. So I'm now making Google a bunch of free money without actually earning anything from it. So it's kind of a bit demoralizing for the History channel, which I was using to just expand and just do something a bit different with my time. Anyhow, regardless, that's something that I'll have to address on that channel at some point in time. We'll probably see you when the devlog season starts up again, / dev server season, as I'll stream probably on YouTube and stream that on YouTube. But there aren't really any hold-fast plans, considering there might be an Operation Winter or an Operation Summer for War Thunder, so there might be another set of event vehicles going around. It'll be particularly interesting to sort of see what happens there. yeah, look, it's coming to a busy part of the year, and as we enter, well, come close to my birthday as well, it's going to be a hectic time, and I'm still looking to get my health back on track at the same time. So yeah, wish me luck, and let me know if there's any War Thunder ideas that you have for me, because I'd like to know, what the fuck do I do with this YouTube channel? Anyway, you've been updated. What do you think of the Battle Pass? My name is Ash, catch you next one, bye bye.